Welcome to this look at two new mod maps on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. I am here on Crater Lake 22. This is new to Farming Simulator 22, but it's not new to the Farming Simulator franchise. This is by Poorboy and Catalyzer Industries. It's been moved over and upgraded a fair bit actually. Decades after volcanic activity, the forest has regrown. Now it's time to harvest, but it does go on to then say, over the past few years a drought has caused the surrounding lakes to dry up and provide a nice fertile area for a small farm and a massive dead forest to harvest. So there's a little bit of a change from the previous one where there were other lakes. Say other lakes, you'll see what I mean in a moment. The map looks like this. So Crater Lake, volcanic crater. It is predominantly a forest map, however we have got some farming down the bottom here. Contracts are available on this map. This is 68.67 megabytes download, and this is one of the first. I don't know if it's the first for Farming Simulator, but I think it might be for console. In that this is a double header. This is a double whammy. 68.67 megabyte download, but you get two maps for the price of one here. Crater Lake 22 and Rogue River has been thrown in as a bonus map. So this map tour will be both. This is a double header. Won't take very long. The second one is a full forest map. You might remember it from FS19. So what do we start with on New Farm on here? Well, we start with this plot here, which has got our farm area on, and we start with the biogas plant. Now you don't start with the biogas plant on Farm Manager or start from scratch. However, that plot of land that has the biogas plant on is only 22,251. So on Farm Manager and start from scratch, it's not too expensive. But there's some bonus things on this. This also suggests or requires, I guess, the Platinum DLC, because the couple of the industries on here have got Platinum expansion productions on them. So again, potentially you don't actually start with a farm field, but you do start with plenty of farm equipment. We do start with this little plot here and this plot up here, which we'll get out to and have a look at in a little while. Forestry plot prices, I have to say they're not too expensive considering the size of them. And then we do have the verges, this section here, which has got sell points on and productions on, and the roadway. If I click on that, for 68,874, you can buy that if you want to. If you wanted to add things onto those roadways, you can. We are going to have a wander around. Now we do have one leased item on here, and what I'm going to say as well is this and Rogue River has the same built-in mods by the map makers. And the same production buildings are on both maps, so I'll show you them all on this one, and they are on the next map as well. We'll talk about slot count when we get to the farm area on this one, and again, like I say, we'll jump over onto the second one, and we'll have a look. So we start here with our John Deere and a little flatbed. Oh, there are collectibles on this map. There are 20. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to see one, I mean it's glaringly obvious, it's right behind you there, here. We have a cartridge worth 50 grand. So we might as well grab it. Now, as far as mods put in by the map maker then, this menu here, and we scroll down until we get to the leased items. We do have a lorry leased on this map. On the next one, it's not leased. Gets a bit confusing, but under mods and DLCs I've got the Platinum expansion, but under Crater Lake we've got all of these. Now as far as I can tell, the Damcon PL75, the Raptor 300, the Komatsu 875, Komatsu 931XC and the Wilhelmina Superliner, they're all modded in so much as we've got extra options for colour choices. This one's got an off-road wheel setup. I don't think there's anything over and above that, not like larger harvesting capacities or anything like that, just colour choices and a few bits and bobs. Now the one thing that has got me slightly puzzled, and again this can be one of those ones, maybe it's glaringly obvious, that's $100,000, pounds or euros, chainsaw. And it says CS410 special. For 100,000. So I bought one. I can't get it to cut anything down. at all. I thought, oh, maybe this is one of those ones there you get the long reach. Maybe this is special for 100 grand. Like if you put it down, it will cut like 20 trees in one go or something like that. I can't even get it to cut one. I'll show you what I mean in a moment, but we'll get to that. Under build mode then, we had nothing under sheds, silos, extensions, containers, tools, farmhouses, anything like that. Under production and under factories, if we scroll out to here, we've got the platinum expansion stuff, and then we go a little bit further and we've got the Crater Lake stuff. Now when we go onto Rogue River, it all says Crater Lake 22 on there as well, because like I say, it comes as a kind of a bonus pack. We've got the sawmill, 100,000. We've got paper, cardboard and pallet plant. The only thing that puzzles me with that is it produces paper and cardboard, but not pallets. Unless the paper and cardboard is on pallets, which potentially it is. And that only requires wood chip. We've got the biogas plant, 500 kilowatt, and that takes loads of extra stuff. We'll have a look at that in a moment. 1.18 million to place, but you can buy it for 22 grand on here, which is pretty cool. And then the carpentry, which again, if you've got the platinum expansion on, that does loads of extra stuff as well, not just furniture. We can do a load of stuff through the carpentry, but it does require some extra inputs if you are going to do that. Then we had nothing under animals, decoration or landscaping. So we'll head down, because obviously for that chainsaw to technically work, we need to be on a plot of land that we own, which at the moment we're not on a plot that we own. It all seems very crisp and tidy and nice, and you know, if you like your forestry, great. If you're not a big fan of forestry, there's plenty of, you know, they've got fields we've got to start with, plenty of farming equipment to start with, and there's plenty of areas, especially when we get out to the Deadwood area, where with some of the various mulching mods and stuff like that, you can clear nice big areas fairly quickly and put in more land if you want to. That's entirely up to you. So we've got the animal dealer just here. To the side of the animal dealer, we've got selling station generic. And then round the back we've got the animal dealer sell point. If we whiz up round the back this way, if you look bottom left, you'll see the direction we're going. I normally show you on the map where we are anyway when we do map tours, but we've got the grain mill. Just here. As far as I'm aware, that's a standard one. I'm just going to put some money in. Bear with me a second. I shall hop out. Yep. Thought I'd better check. It wasn't showing as a modded one in the factory section. We'll cut around the back and head across to the biogas plant. As I said, on New Farmer, we already start with it. Farm management start from scratch, just over 22 grand. 3 large silage clamps, plenty of storage buildings. Until you've purchased this, it depends whether you've got the interactive zone markers and stuff on, but the icons won't be showing. But once owned, we can bring grass, potato, silage, slurry, manure, sugar beet cut, canola, sunflower, corn and wood chips. Can all be bought here. And then we've got outgoing products of digestate, diesel and diesel exhaust fluid. So, a little bit more than your standard biogas plant. Whiz down around the back. We've got our carpentry. We purchased that for 60,000. You will see. We can do furniture wood, shingles, prefab wall, staircase railing, floor tiles, bathtub, furniture, from the various different things that come from the sawmill. So, like I say, having the platinum expansion on does help with that. If you haven't got that on, I think you can just do furniture wood as far as I'm aware. So you can still run it as a carpentry, but you get all these extra things thrown in. Obviously on Platinum Expansion you've got different buildings and different productions for these, but under this one, under carpentry, you get all those extra things thrown in. Bit of a result. And a bit further round, we've got the paper, cardboard and pallet plant. Yeah, this is paper and cardboard. So I'm not sure why it's saying pallet. Like I say, unless they appear on pallets, which I suppose could be why. So we click on the production there, we can make paper rolls or carton rolls just from wood chips. So no lumber necessarily required. I think under our start equipment we do start with a wood chipper, probably for that very reason. But there's tons of wood chipping mods and stuff out there. So our sawmill is just here. Wood chips, when they're produced, we've got the silo around the back here, that's where you get wood chips out from. Bringing your lumber and putting it in is just over there. But our by-production plant, 100,000. Wood planks, wood beams, and then planks long. And like I say, planks, wood chips, wood beam, and planks long, which will then go on to make the other things from the carpentry. That's our sawmill. Beyond the sawmill we've got a gas station. And this whole area here is part of that verges, that periphery that I said that was what, 68,000. So as far as adding in other production chains, sell points, silos, anything like that, you can buy this plot and a couple of other ones as well. There's plenty of space here for adding in extra stuff if you want to. Vehicle store and workshop trigger. This is also the reset point. Around the back of this building we do have a wardrobe, just there. And then we're on to our start equipment. So as I said, unlike Rogue River, which we're going to have a look at in a moment, I'll say in a moment, in a little while, on this map the MAN is leased. So that's something to be aware of. If you're wondering why every night you're getting charged a leasing fee, it's because that's leased, not owned. It should say we go to it, rented by. We do have our 2 Komatsus. If we come round out of here, we do have some animal pastures. These aren't barns, so they will require water. We've got chickens, that will hold 30. We've got cows at 15. We've got sheep at 15, just around the side, and then the fields here. Did I say contracts are available? On the few fields that are here, there are some contracts available. Now this plot of land, I'll check on the map. So we are currently here. So we own all of this. So here's what I mean. We've got our chainsaw, our super. We get our blue come up, but I get closer and further away. I don't get the yellow come up to cut. So I thought, I'm looking ahead at other trees thinking, okay, have I missed something? Are there other trees that are ready to cut? I can't get it to cut anything at all. It's not coming up. You're not allowed to. We own this bit of land. We own these trees. And to prove the point, if we go into this menu, go to tools. So I'm thinking, okay, has it been done specifically so that you can buy a different chainsaw? So that's the one. This is the one we just purchased. Get close enough. We go yellow. We can cut the trees down because we own them. So I thought, it's not been done so you can cut crops down or something like that, is it? That would be a bit bizarre. Is there a certain type of trees we can cut down? So I was a little bit, I'm puzzled, to say the least. Now there are those trees, we just drove past one that's got a red and yellow band round them. So I thought, is it potentially that it's designed to cut that tree down, and does that get rid of a load of trees maybe? I still couldn't get to cut anything down. I don't know. Like I say, when this happens on any map tour, you then start second guessing yourself and thinking you're going insane. I can't figure it out. Anyway, we do start with a dog on New Farmer. We do start with a sleep trigger, and the rest of our equipment and machinery is just down here. We've got 3 sheds. Like I say, we've got a fair bit of farming stuff, even though we don't start with a patch of ground, but we can do a bit of forestry, then buy our ground, and then we can get cracking. So we've got our Arion, not Action. We've got an Arion trailer, Rossel mash with header. I think we've got a corn header as well, just around the side there. Cultivator, mowing gear, trailer, windrower. A bit further round, we've got a seeder, and we've got a slurry spreader, all under the sheds. So slot count. New farmer, 740. Farm manager and start from scratch, 718. The difference is you start with all the equipment and machinery, you don't start with the buildings. So you won't have the buildings, you don't have the sleep trigger, you don't have the doghouse, and you don't have the animal pens. But you do still have all the machinery and equipment. If you get rid of all the machinery and equipment, I got it down to 570. So from 740 to 718 to 570. If you want to get it all the way down, you can. You don't have to. The choice is entirely yours, of course. What I am going to do, though, at this point, I'm just going to check on this plot of land. How much is that? 121. Let's buy that. And then let's buy the verges. I'm puzzled, to say the least. Let's buy that. I'm going to head through and see if I can find that tree that had the markings on it to drop off the trailer. Then I'm going to lease a pickup, and I'm going to take you out and show you some other bits out in the Deadwood forest, because this has got another couple of surprises. Is this going to tell me I'm not allowed to cut it down? So that's our one. Yeah, you're not allowed to cut this tree. I've bought the land around it, either side of it. I cannot for the life of me work out 100,000 for a chainsaw. There's got to be a reason for it. I just don't know what it is. Unless it was supposed to be $1 or something rather, but even if it was $1, it's still not allowing me to cut trees down, so I'm a little bit puzzled by that. Anyway, what's new? Me being puzzled by something. I'm going to go and grab a pickup, and we're going to head out. When we get out there, I'll show you where we are. Actually, I'll show you where we're going to go on the map. So from here, we're going to head out, up past here. The terrain is difficult, to say the least, but we're going to head all the way up to the top. As far as I can tell, now that's showing green, so potentially that trackway, I'm thinking of other maps that have been like this, you may need to cut the trees to get through there, but we will have a look when we get up there. We want to get to this area here, which was the old lake, which has dried out through drought, and as I said, we own that plot there and that bit up there as well. They're not expensive. That one's 40 grand. I think maybe it's both for 40 grand. That whole lot there is 882,720, which encompasses all of that and all of that and all of the Deadwood forest. But again, that will make more sense when we get up there. So bear with me, but I'll grab a pickup and I will see you up there. So we're up the top at that green track. We're looking at it now, it doesn't look like there's trees on it. It just looks like it's just grass. I thought it was going to be one of those ones where you'd have to clear the road to get through, but actually, no, it's alright. So this should take us down to what was the old lake. Let's say lake, swamp area, wasn't it? But it's all completely dried out now, so we've got this little Deadwood forest on it. If we come to the map, so we own this top section up here, so we can do a bit of this forestry up here. Again, I thought, well, maybe is that chainsaw just for Deadwood trees? But again, Not getting anything coming up. If I switch to the other one, I can. Don't know. But what's very cool along here, we go a bit further down, and it's quite extensive. But again, there's some nice flat bits here as well. So if you want to do farming once you cleared the trees out, nearly there. Look at it. Just yeah. Try not to look when you're trying to avoid hitting trees. Right, we're coming up in it. So, just saying, there are two of these. We own part of one of them. We've got these massive quarries. So if you want to do some stone work, lime production, any production that requires stone at all, and it goes all the way back up there. I mean, that's a huge amount of stone. I even tried the chainsaw on the stone. I thought, oh, maybe it's something to do with... Honestly, I don't know. I was just trying anything. So that little blue bit that we own, along with the top, up the top where we just were, is a little section of this quarry just here. So this one goes all the way back there. So we come back to the map, we came in up the top, we own that plot there, there's that one there, and this one's a little bit smaller, but we own this plot here at the front, so we've got a few trees to the side of it, and the front part of this quarry, just here. It's huge! And then the map continues from the top there in a loop all the way around. You've got all these login points where you can set up equipment and you can go out and log in if you're playing multiplayer, do it with friends, or if you're just doing it on your own. You can. But that's the map. That's Crater Lake 22. Went around all the points, didn't we? Quarries, collectibles, yeah, we talked about all that. Brilliant stuff. So, that's Crater Lake. The bonus map then is Rogue River. Stick with me, we're going to jump across over to that now. So, the bonus map, Rogue River. We start off here, doghouse, sleep trigger and pickup. The slot count on here is 587. This is a purely login map. There's no farmland on this one off the start. You can clear land and you can make farmland. Of course you can, if you want to go for a sort of full frontier. There's no biogas plant on this one. There is some space, I say, for it, but if you look, I mean, this is full logging. We're not going to drive around the entire map. It's mountainous, it's difficult. We'll chuck the drone up, we can have a whiz across towards the end, but we start here. That's where our sleep trigger is. And we start off with plot 1, which is the main area with the sell points and things on it. And this one as well, I guess I field prices, but plot prices again, considering the size of them, not too expensive at all. And there's no shortage of it. And then we've got this swamp area up to the northwest, and that one is 251 grand, so that's a little bit more challenging. It's very cool actually, I do like this. Now, as I said in the previous one, all of the equipment added in, the bonus stuff, if we come down to here, is exactly the same, and it will say Crater Lake 22. We've still got the 100,000 special chainsaw, the Superliner, the Komatsus, the Prinoth and the Damcon. So from here, it does say for nostalgia, they've used the original loading screen and PDA, so this is one of those ones where, you know, if you played on it before and think, I'll jump back on, or you might be new to the game completely and think, you know, there's quite a few forestry maps. Poorboy and Catalyzer Gaming generally focus on forestry maps. Not all just forestry. They've got a nice selection of ones with farming and forestry, and you know, they've got some cracking maps out there. Actually, I just want to so you know, Crater Lake now with the bonus map, Black Mountain 22, Rogue River Valley, Piney Run, which is pretty cool, Wilhelmina 22, Hickory Valley and Bear Rock Logging, and they're all very different as well. You think, oh, a logging map's a logging map? Not at all. So we follow the track down, we come to our start equipment. Now as I said, the difference as well on this one compared to Crater Lake, on this one our start equipment's all here. Including the mulcher. This time we own the lorry, it's not rented. So that's part of your start equipment. Now if you get rid of all the start equipment, I got the slot count down to 483. So 587 to 578 to 483. Again, you don't have to, it's entirely up to you. Oh, generic sell point, it's just there. Vehicle store and workshop trigger with wardrobe trigger around the back. Just there. Paper and cardboard, just there. Sawmill, as with Crater Lake, just here. Carpentry, just here. Gas station, and animal dealer. Now we start with this plot, so again, nice big expanse, big open area. If you want to add anything else in, there's plenty of room, it's nice and flat, shouldn't be an issue for putting anything down. So it's still around this area here. Like I said, we do own it. I'm going to do the same thing. There are 20 collectibles on here as well. I haven't seen one, there might be one actually up by the sleep trigger. I haven't come across one yet. But there are 20 on here. I'm just checking the plot that we own. Actually, we go quite a long way out there, don't we? So, let's go in. Crater Lake. So I thought maybe it's the map. Maybe it's Crater Lake. Maybe it's fine on Rogue River. Got the same thing. I did then think, oh, sometimes you get charged per cut when you cut a tree down, and I thought, well, if it is one that cuts down multiple trees, maybe I needed more money. So I tried putting in extra money to make sure that there was plenty of money in there if it was going to cut lots of trees down. Couldn't get to that either. So yeah, it's a weird one and no mistake. So what we'll do, we'll just whiz out to the swamp, show the swamp, and then we'll chuck the drone up and have a bit of a flyby. In essence, that's the map. The rest of it is full forestry, mountainous, rugged terrain, not for the faint of heart. And here we go. Swamp logging. So this is what the other area would have looked like before the drought. So I throw the drone up. We'll head across. You'll get an idea for the mountainous terrain. So the river runs right the way through, with roadways or trackways either side, winding their way. And it's not even like you've kind of got gradual slopes and you can work your way up. This is like, boom, mountain. So yeah, it's not going to be straightforward. And some people love that as a challenge. And again, some people just don't like logging. So if you don't, this is not going to be the map for you. Then we wind our way up. You look back, you can see how much elevation we're gaining already. With logging points at different locations. Yeah. That's the bonus map. A twofer. Pretty cool. That's Rogue River. Both by Poorboy and Catalyzer Industries. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.